Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Language and Life Skills. I am Matthew Adikanil. The topic of today's discussion, the title is The Science Delusion. The Science Delusion. This is a response to the much circulated book of Richard Dawkins named The God Delusion. The God Delusion. Can you see? The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins is the high priest of atheism, and his book has influenced many people all over the world. In his book, he has torn religion to pieces, denigrated the Bible, Old Testament, other religions, and he has condemned and despised religion as a figment of the imagination. According to him, believing in God is a delusion, is a mental disorder. It is not worthy of rational beings. So, he has condemned all religion at one shot. Now friends, what is a delusion? A delusion is believing in something that does not exist. Richard Dawkins doesn't believe in God's existence. He doesn't accept it, and therefore he says belief in God is a delusion. God is a delusion. I like to say that he is himself under a delusion, a reverse of a delusion. That is denying something that exists, but something he cannot prove. This I call the science delusion. This is a science delusion. Because science cannot prove conclusively with evidence, material evidence, God's existence. In the name of science, he claims to say that God doesn't exist. It is really scientific to deny the existence of something because you cannot prove it. In fact, Richard Dawkins, myself, all of us exist only because there is God. There is only one existence in the universe, that is God. All other creatures, all other lives, all other existences are alive only because of God. As St. Paul says, in him we live, move, and have our being. Only God can say, I am who am. All other existences are participation in God's existence. So, the reason for denying God, according to Dawkins, is that you cannot scientifically prove God's existence. You cannot prove it in the laboratory. Now, the actual fact is, with reason you can neither prove God's existence conclusively, nor can you disprove his existence. So is it really scientific to deny the existence of something which you cannot really prove or disprove? Let me ask you a question. Are there aliens in the universe outside our Earth system? Are there aliens? Are there other living beings? Are there other humans perhaps? What is the honest answer? You say we cannot say, we do not know. Can we rule out in the name of science existence of aliens in other planets? Absolutely not. We are trying to probe and see if there are aliens on other planets, if there is life on other planets. This is a scientific pursuit. I'm afraid a friend is like a frog in the well. What does a frog in the well see? Sees water all around. He sees the walls of the well and a little piece of sky above his head, above the well. That's all what the frog sees. The frog cannot see the mountains, the majestic mountains, the huge rivers, the vast expanse of the ocean, all these are outside the view of the frog. It cannot even see the thousands of birds, varieties of birds and flowers. And so if the frog thinks the entire world is well, he is terribly mistaken. He is exposed only to that. So, as the frog's knowledge is limited by his universe, by his environment, we also are limited by our environment. We humans are limited. Our knowledge is limited by our environment. What is our basic environment? We are living in time and space. We exist in time and space. We have our birth and our death. We live in a particular place. We are born in a particular place. And we can move from place to place, but we are always existing in time and place. But to believe that everything exists only in time and space is ignorance. In fact, God, spiritual beings, the greatest part of reality is outside time and existence. And since we live in time and space, we cannot really understand with our puny intellect things that exist outside time and space. Eternal reality like God, a God who is omnipresent and eternal, outside time, eternal, and outside space. He is a spirit, he has no body. And so we cannot scan him. So it is a great assumption, a mere assumption to believe that reason and logic are the ultimate ways to knowledge. It is a big assumption. We consider ourselves humans, we consider ourselves superior to animals because we have got reason. Good. We are rational animals. But there are other beings much higher than us, the angels or pure spirits. God himself, infinite intelligence, infinite wisdom, and ways of knowing. Above reason and logic, there is a far higher level of knowing, that is through intuition. Knowing things in a flash without the process of reasoning. And that is the kind of knowledge God has got. Knowing things by intuition, by mere awareness, and having everything existing before him without present, past and future. Everything is present to God in an instant, and he can be present everywhere. He is present everywhere. So that is the highest level of knowledge, intuition. And it is through intuition only we can accept things beyond time and space, things of religion, things beyond our earthly existence, mysteries of life, the miracles which are outside the purview and scope of science. Life is not merely material things. Life is also spirit. And in this world of the spirit, there are things like mysteries and miracles. So, to deny God just because we cannot prove him in the lab is unscientific. It is kind of arrogance. It is a kind of pathetic ignorance that your very life depends on a God, an infinite being. So this itself is a delusion. It is a delusion of science. The science delusion to deny God just because you cannot prove him in the lab. Your friends, think about it. If you like this presentation, please subscribe and ring the bell. See you another time. Bye.